Hi, I'm Katrina from Katrina's Creative Heart. I want to welcome you to my craft room. Today I want to share with you a really cute little box that's going to fit this miniature jar candle. I found this at my local Walmart. It's one of the mainstay scented candles. It's one of the mini jars. I found this for only like 94 cents in my local Walmart. So they had lots of different scents to choose from. This one happens to be cranberry mango. And it does use a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So I am featuring the You Always Deliver stamp set. So we'll go ahead and get started. It's a really cute box and it's very, very quick and simple. I'm going to bring in my scoring tool. I'm using my Stampin' Trimmer. These are not available anymore as they did retire this year. However, I am still using mine until we get something new. So again, we're using an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and on the 11.5 inch edge, we're going to do some scoring. And we're going to start at 2.5 inches. So we're going to line that up on 2.5. Then we're going to go to 5, 7.5, and 10. Then we're going to go ahead and turn to the 8.5 inch edge, and we're going to start at 2 inches. Let's get that on the 2 inch mark. Score. And then we're going to go all the way to the 6.5 inch. And that completes our scoring. So we're going to go ahead and put this aside. So we have all of our scoring complete. You're going to notice you have this narrow edge that you created when you did your scoring. It created two end rectangles. We're going to go ahead and remove those, but we're going to save them because we have no waste with this particular card or box pattern. We're actually going to use those little rectangles at the end of our project. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those away. So we're just going to set them aside here. And then we're going to take the rest of our score marks and we're going to trim up. Both sides. Okay, so now we have our trimming done. We're going to go ahead, bring our bone folder in and just burnish all of our score lines, which we could have done this, probably would have been easier if we had done this before we actually did our cutting, but it still works. Now we want to make sure we get all of our tabs that we created. Both sides. Okay, now this little tab here that we've created, we are going to add some adhesive. I'm using my Fast Fuse, however, I do really truly recommend that you use some tear and tape. But for the sake of the speed of the video, we're going to use the Fast Fuse, and we're just going to go ahead and burnish that together. I like to take my bone folder and burnish it really good so we have a nice tight seal. So now we have our little tube that we've created. Now I like to make the side with the seam, this will be the back of my box. So across from it is the front. So now I'm going to take the bottom, I'm going to bring in side, side, back tab, front tab, I'm going to add some adhesive. So we can seal the bottom of our box. Okay, so now I have my box. I can go ahead and place my candle down in, and again side, side, bring up the back, add adhesive to the front tab, seal it down. Okay, so there's our box. Now I have a piece of designer series paper. This is from the Subtles collection. I have the little diamond pattern here, and these are from the Subtles. This is the pool party. I'm just going to add some adhesive. I'm going to center that on the front of my box. Okay, set that aside. I now have the largest stitched oval from the Stitched Shapes Dies collection that I cut from a piece of Whisper White, and I've got my little mailman here, and I have my Memento black ink because we are going to be coloring with our blends, so we want to make sure we're using our Memento Tuxedo black ink, because when we're using alcohol based ink, which is in our Stampin' Blends markers, we want to make sure that we are using our Memento ink because it does not react with the alcohol. Put some good pressure on there, transfer that ink, perfect. Then we are going to bring in our little box, and we're going to set the box in our mailman's hands. So he's delivering a little package here, and I have the little hearts from the stamp set, and I'm going to have little hearts coming out of my box, just like so. Okay, before I put my ink away, I'm going to go ahead. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White. This measures a 1/2 inch wide, length just long enough to accommodate our sentiment. I am using Delivering Sunshine Your Way. And I'm going to ink that up. This is much longer than what I need. I always save my scraps that are thin like this just for these sentiments. And then I can cut them off where I need to. It's just easier to have a nice straight edge cut from a piece of scrap than it is when you're actually trying to cut a small sliver on purpose, I find. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and color in our little mailman. I've got my light. I grabbed the Poppy Parade actually for my hearts. I'm going to do our box in Crumb Cake. I have the light Crumb Cake, and I'm just going to fill that in quickly. Then I have the dark. I'm going to go under the flap, inside the box where it would be shadowed. Then blend it out with the Crumb Cake. And rather than make you watch me color him all in, I do have him all prepared for you. So we'll bring in the colored in. I used the Petal Pink for his face and his arms. His hat and his shirt are in Pool Party. I used the light and the dark. His pants and his bag I did in Night of Navy. His hair, his mustache, and his little shoes I did in the dark Smoky Slate. Okay, so back to completing our box. I have our box, I have the designer paper on here, and remember these two little tabs we saved? We're going to go ahead and add these to the center using the top and bottom of our designer paper as our guide. So then we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive. Instead of using ribbon or cutting another strip, we're just going to go ahead and add these to the center like this. Get that centered. Just like that. So now we have our little oval here. I'm going to go ahead and add some dimensionals. My dimensionals are down to the end here, so I'm just going to snip one there. add him there. Now we're going to take our sentiment, and as I said, we're going to just cut it at an angle like so. So we can go ahead. Actually, I'm going to trim that down just a little bit more. So it goes like so. So it is going to hang off just a little bit. I am going to use a dimensional. There we are. Actually, I could probably stick another one underneath. Let's go ahead. There we go. And then to finish this, I do have some sequins. I'm going to bring in, let's see, I have some sequins here, and we're just going to add a sequin there. There. And that completes our cute little box. Perfect for an office gift or just a little friendship gift to pass on to someone who needs a little extra sunshine passed their way. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you enjoyed these videos, please give a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. And just use the little bell for notifications when future videos are posted. I hope you have a great day, guys. See you next time. Bye for now.